Today what I want to do is I want to transplant this Japanese maple tree into this pot. I want to fully put it in and upgrade it because, as you can see, it is suffering, but it is still very much alive, and I'm sure that it is root bound. And I've had this Japanese maple tree for a while. My son gave it to me for Mother's Day about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was thriving here on the deck for a long time. Then I moved it out into the garden, and then I moved it to the front garden, and I believe that it got too much sun there, and so it is now suffering. It still has some green leaves here, and I believe that it desperately wants to live, but it needs to get out of this pot. So what I'm going to do is take it out of the pot and transplant it fully into this container and winterize it in the container. I think it will do fine. What I'll do is just tuck it under some arborvitaes in my garden, which I've been doing in the past, and it just survives, and just mulch it down hard, and it survives the winter in the pot that it's been in. So I think just up potting it is the way to go. So let's get busy here. Hello and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. Well, we are in a new season and it is beautiful today. It's going to rain, but it is Saturday, the second Saturday in September. I think it's either the 9th or the 10th. But anyway, I want to up-pot my beautiful Japanese maple tree here, and also I'm thinking of up-potting these basil, dividing them actually, just dividing them so that they can have more room to grow. They were in a container like this one here. And as you can see, they're not as green as they can be. But when I divided them up and put them in these 3 pots and with fresh soil, the leaves are starting to green up, and they are just so much more tasty, this basil. So I want to capture the last of the basil before they decide to go to seed, and enjoy them for this month of September and October, and then even try to possibly, possibly store some for the winter. I'm going to use this Miracle-Gro potting soil to transplant this or up-pot this Japanese maple into this pot. So what I'm going to do first, though, is to take this plant out of the pot. I've been able to get the plant out of the pot, the nursery pot here, and the soil isn't too bad here. The root system, yeah, and the root system is pretty good. I'm not going to disturb the root system because I don't want to stress out the plant. So what I'm going to do though, because there is a hole at the bottom of this pot, I'm going to put this paper bag at the bottom to help save the... I'm putting the paper bag at the bottom so that the soil does not seep out of the bottom of this pot. And then what I'm going to do now is just put a layer of potting soil at the bottom that I have here. Just using this up. And that will be like a base for it. And then I'm going to add some water at the bottom just to moisten that up. So I have some water here in this container, and I'm just going to add some water in here like that, and that will also help the paper bag to not be so dry. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing there. And then I'm going to put this pot in there, put the plant in to a certain level. I want to have it to be able to come to this level here, you know, the soil level. So I'm going to add more soil at the bottom and then put the plant in. The soil is very dry, so I want to add some more moisture to this soil before I put the pot in, the planter in. And I think I have maybe a little bit too much soil here. We will see. Let me see if I can pull it up to the side. So let me add some more water to this, and that will help to firm up the soil. Yeah, that's a little bit more moist. All right. Now I'm going to put the so that is just it's like it just made it. It's a little high, so I'm going to take out some of the soil so that it's not so high. Yeah, let's just kind of, or pull it up more to the side here. I want it to not be so. Let me just take it out. So I'm going to just get one of these containers here. Put the excess soil. Just put some of this excess soil in here. And then use it to fill up the sides. The rest of it. Add some more water. So I add some more water. Let's try this again. Okay. I think that is much, much better. And so now I'm going to just fill it in around with soil and tuck. You want to pack it in really tight. We could actually take off some of this top stuff and just pack it in really tight. So let me do that, and then I'll show you what it looks like in the end. So I've packed it in with soil, and I'm just going to water it really thoroughly, and so that will just wash away any of the excess soil on top and just help it to get rid of any air pockets, because that's what you don't want, is air bubbles. You really want it to be well saturated through and through. And it's looking pretty good in this pot. I like how it's looking, and I know it's going to be happy because now it has some nutrients and it is just in a better space. The next thing I'm going to do is to trim off these dead branches that are here. Give it a little haircut so that it won't be so stressed out from these dead branches. But I do want to leave the green so that it can get the chlorophyll. Like this is a beautiful branch here. This needs to stay. These are beautiful here as well. And I'm going to leave it up here on the deck with me so that I can monitor it. So I'm going to just kind of look for any dead looking branches like this, and let's see if I can do this one-handedly. Yeah, things like that. Let's see how I'm just giving it a clean up. Yeah, I just don't want it to look so frayed, like it's supporting dead branches, you know. I think this is really dry. Get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of that hole. I'm going to give it a hard haircut. Now I'm going to tackle this basil. As you can see, it's in this white container. It did very well. I got the basil from the Dollar Tree seeds and just sprinkled it in here in the container, and it created all of these basil plants. It was convenient just to leave them all in here, and as I would go along, as you could tell, I would just snip the tops off and use it for cooking, also to add to my teas, and it's just been beautiful. However, I don't like the fact that it looks like it's lacking some chlorophyll. It doesn't have that, so I'm going to up pot it, give it some fresh soil, and hopefully that will help it to rejuvenate just as well as these have. So that's exactly what I did to these basil plants here, and you can see that the leaves are looking really good. So that's my intention. So let's get busy. So this was just from a pack of basil seeds from the American Seed packet, $4 for $1 that you can get at the Dollar Tree, and it created this here. So what I'm going to do is just take this out of the container, and you can see that it's highly root bound, and then divide these up into threes and put them inside of the container, and then cover it with soil. So I divided the plants, and I decided actually to divide it into 4 different plants here, or pots. There's a bee swarming around here, so I think it smells the basil. So what I'm going to do is just now put the soil around it, and I've created 4 basil plants, or pots of basil. it is important to water in the basil well because the soil is a little damp and they've just gone through a little bit of root shock. So to make sure that there's no air pockets in this, I'm watering it in and allowing it to actually sit in water. It will get water coming up from the bottom as well because of the container that I put it in here. So it will be well watered. Then also we're going to get some rain soon, and it will get Mother Nature's water as well. It'll do quite fine. So that is my basil. It's the work that I've done for today, and I hope you're inspired by it as well. Well, thank you so much for joining me here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow, 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 grow together. For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.